Beck Program.
Well, hello, America, and welcome to the Glenn Beck Program and to TheBlaze. This is the network that you are building. I will have to start with some developing news. TheBlaze broke a story that the White House was considering appeasing the Muslim Brotherhood by granting them their wish by freeing the Blind Sheikh, who is responsible for the '93 World Trade Center bombing. Well, we got this letter a couple of hours ago from House members in Congress, GOP members. They sent a letter to the Secretary of State and the Attorney General demanding that the U.S. not release the convicted terrorist. It's quite an amazing letter. These are the people that signed it. Tiffany, put the names of everybody who signed this on the screen so everybody can ever see who they are. But in the letter it says, succumbing to the demands of a country whose citizens threaten our embassy and Americans serving in it would send a clear message that acts of violence will be responded with appeasement rather than strength. The Blind Sheikh should remain in federal prison. The release of Abdel-Rahman or any terrorist who plots to kill Americans who are innocent will be seen for what it is, a sign of weakness and a lack of resolve by the United States and its president. Amen. They are demanding that they have a meeting by the end of the week with the administration on this topic. So far, the Obama administration hasn't said much about the story, but we'll probably hear more about it after the election when this president has a little more flexibility with Vladimir. Other than Jake Tapper, and I saw a report this morning on Fox and Friends, the media has all but ignored this, and nobody really has put any pressure on this administration for answers, but you are making the difference. This story is going viral because of you. People are Facebooking it and tweeting it, and they are passing it to their friends in email. The entire foreign policy is being ignored by the media. Remember, this White House wants you to believe that the embassy attacks on the anniversary of 9/11 were solely because of a little scene and poorly done, laughable, we'll show you a bit of it later on in the program, this YouTube video. And today they've come out and they've said, oh, well, wait, we've got some other things in mind here. Oh, and one other thing, France is being forced to shut down 20 embassies in Muslim countries because of this cartoon. This is published now in the French Weekly. I will tell you that I saw this cartoon this morning. I opened it up. This is the cover. Oh, no, let's not show that. It is really offensive. Take it down, please. Take it down. It's really offensive. I'm not saying don't put it up there because I care of flying crap what anybody who is offended by it. I'm personally offended. It's really, really horrible. But not because it's the Prophet Muhammad. Just because it's in bad taste. If that were, I mean, believe me, look what people have said about, the leaders of my church or maybe your church if you're Catholic, what they've said about the Pope. We don't go killing people because of it. It's not the 12th century. Now, France is not shutting down the embassy because of that cartoon. 20 of them all over the world. They're shutting their embassies down. If they did this every time somebody criticized a religion, they might as well close shop for good. They're doing it because of multiculturalism. Sarkozy said it's a failure. I got news for you, America, and planet Earth. This is what you get if you don't treat everyone equally. In France, they have no-go zones. People live by different laws. This is why you can't have Sharia law. It's not compatible with the Constitution. You can't have it. One or the other. Which is it? I know which the extremist would like to have. What happens when you give in to multiculturalism is riots. Look, you've seen this in your supermarket. You've seen parents that give in to tantrums at the grocery store. They give in. And we all look at that family and that poor parent, and we've all been there where it's like, I'm just going to give you this candy or whatever this one time. We've all done it. But we've also seen parents just like us do the same thing, and we've all thought to ourselves, don't do it. Don't do it, because you're in trouble. That's what happens. And I got news for you. It ends horribly. It will for France, and we're going down exactly the same path. Newsflash. Radical Islamist extremists are going to be violent no matter what you do because their stated goal is not to end politically incorrect cartoons. It's an Islamic caliphate where infidels like you and me must be converted or killed. Here's the latest, and I just want you to look at this. Embassies now in Libya, Egypt, Tunisia, Sudan, Indonesia, Yemen, Lebanon, Pakistan, India, UK, Denmark, and now China, we'll have more on that in a minute, have all seen violent protests. Other protests have also flamed up now in Gaza, Iraq, Bangladesh, Qatar, Kuwait, Iraq, Malaysia, Syria, and Afghanistan. May I ask, besides the Jay-Z concert last night, where's the president? Where is the president on this? I've never seen anything like this before in my lifetime. And Obama hasn't done anything but pour fuel on the fire. Did you see the administration? They backtracked now on their Libya story. What caused it? Oh, it was the film. Jake Carney announced it, and he announced that there's an FBI investigation. Now we got the Department of Justice on it. A new investigation.
I'm not, unlike some others, going to prejudge the outcome of an investigation. And categorically assert one way or the other what the motivations are or what happened exactly until that investigation is complete.
This is great. I thought, Jay, we already knew what caused it. You emphatically explained it 4 days ago. Here he is.
And it is in response not to United States policy, not to, obviously, the administration, not to the American people. It is in response to a video, a film.
I'm allergic to bullcrap. Listen, here's the deal. Why bother investigating anything? He was sure about it 4 days ago, and now he says, let's not prejudge. Let me tell you something. You should take your own advice. Don't shoot first and aim later. What? Who said that recently? The president's record on foreign policy would be such a joke if it weren't so dangerous to America and every free man on planet Earth. And because the media is not telling the American people the truth, you have to continue to do what you're doing, and you have to try to enlist other people in greater numbers. The time is wearing down. I want to ask you, please, if you haven't already, to tweet the stories from The Blaze. Share your segments that you watch tonight. Share segments with your friends. I have to tell you, I was lucky enough to say these things on Fox just I don't know, for what, 8 months? For 8 months. And I tried to get the word out. This is how much trouble. Remind them, this isn't, what is going on in the world right now is this. Radicals, Islamists, communists, socialists work together against Israel, work together against capitalism, work together to overturn global stability. Part 2, the protests become contagious. We're there. They cascade. They sweep the Middle East. They begin to stabilize Europe and the rest of the world. Look, the good thing we have going on our side is the American people are just not stupid. They give them time. Thomas Jefferson said, trust the people. They may get it wrong, but they'll correct it. They'll see it. In the last month, Obama's foreign policy approval rating has dropped from 54% to 49%. Have you heard that anywhere? Among independents, it's dropped from 53% to 41%. You see what's happening. America sees it. But the media will try to convince you that that's not important. We're talking about Romney. Romney, did you hear his 47% gaffe? There are 48 days and the secret videotape is still leading the news. This is the videotape where Mitt Romney had the sheer audacity to say that people who want entitlements won't likely vote for him. What? The world is literally on fire, yet somehow this is being spun as just a huge, tragic week for Mitt Romney. Listen to me. The media may seem powerful, but they are not. Let me tell you what happened. This video comes out that you've seen now for 2 days, everywhere, all across the planet, they're showing this. The secret video behind closed doors. You'd think that this thing had been viewed so many times. Mother Jones is the place that has housed that video. It's from Mother Jones. Okay. Everybody has played it. How many page views did Mother Jones get yesterday? This is big. 2 million page views. That's double the amount of their best day Mother Jones has ever had. 2 million people clicked on that video to watch it. How many times have you seen it on television? 2 million people said, I want to really understand that. To give you some perspective on 2 million page views, best day, double the best day they've ever had. Yesterday, on an average day, TheBlaze had 3.4 million hits. I mean, Don't let the media sway you from the truth. Don't let the media try to convince you. Like ABC News. This is easily the worst one-week period Mitt Romney's campaign has experienced so far in the general election. Hey, how's the Middle East doing right now? Huffington Post. Mitt Romney unhinged. Really? Did you see the video of Jay Carney just a second ago? He not only lost the election, but badly damaged his reputation. You gotta be kidding me. Bloomberg, a secret recording from a closed-door Mitt Romney fundraiser has killed Mitt Romney's campaign for president. Wow. Really? Thank you so much, media, for sparing me the next 48 hours or 48 days of suspense, because I've been like, I don't know who's going to win, but now I know. And I was starting to think otherwise, because looking at the polls, I was beginning to think maybe you guys are wrong. According to the Gallup polls, Romney now trails Obama 47-46 in the latest tracking poll. He's pulled within 1 after trailing 48-45 when it was all over. Wait a minute, he's going up. Obama's going down. This is Obama's smallest lead in the tracking poll since before the DNC convention. Obama has lost the 7-point convention bump. 7 points he's lost. And in the key 11 battleground states, the most accurate pollster in 2008, Rasmussen, reports, shows that Romney is ahead 47% to 46%. In that same poll just 6 days ago, Obama was up by 2 points. Really? It's over? That's weird. His approval rating now is below the safe 50% number. His disapproval has jumped up 45%. These people are so desperate, and you can tell. His failed policies mean that he cannot survive any hard-hitting interviews. He can't risk it. One bad interview and he's done. So what does he do? Well, I got to go on Entertainment Tonight because those are people too. And speaking of people, I got to be in People magazine. And I should be on the pop music channel in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And of course, Pimp with a Limp, because he's going to ask me all of the really hard questions about the Middle East. It's safe to say claiming victory now might be a little premature. Romney is staying close despite being largely outspent by Obama, who has a lot of money, but Romney, I hear, has a lot more. Meanwhile, Obama is spending money on video games. Whatever. Look, here's what this whole thing comes down to. You either believe in keeping most of what you earn and having personal responsibility, and that the government does have to help some people, but the rest of it's handled by charity, personal charity. You either believe this.
People who vote for the president no matter what. All right, there are 47% who are with him, who are dependent upon government, who believe that they are victims, who believe that government has a responsibility to care for them, who believe that they're entitled to health care, to food, to housing, to you name it. It's an entitlement, and the government should give it to them. And they will vote for this president no matter what.
Okay.
I mean,
the key here is, stop. The key here is that you're entitled to food and housing. No, you're not. Now, you believe that, or you believe in taking it from someone else and spreading the wealth. Here's the other side.
To resuscitate this notion that we're all in this thing together, leave nobody behind. We do have to be innovative in thinking what are the delivery systems that are actually effective and meet people where they live. And my suggestion, I guess, would be that the trick, this is one of the few areas where I think there are technical issues that have to be dealt with as opposed to just political issues. I think the trick is figuring out how do we structure government systems that pool resources and hence facilitate some redistribution, because I actually believe in redistribution, at least at a certain level, to make sure that everybody's got a shot.
Okay, that is the trick. Look, where we agree, if you watch me and you're like, I hate this guy, let me just extend the olive branch and tell you that I'm sorry, but we're not that much different. Everybody in America wants to help the old. We want to help the sick, the ill, those who cannot help themselves. We can agree on all of that. But are we really turning into a country where we believe that our money should be forcibly taken, put into a pool, some sort of trick to leave it in the hands of the federal government to decide where it goes for redistribution so it's fair? Remember, leaving it in the hands of the government, these are the same people who built the turtle tunnels. Come on, Democrats, are you for that? Were you for the bridge to nowhere? Oh, how about the airport so Jack Murtha could use it? Come on. The debate should be, what is the best way to use our money to help the poor? And it's not through the government. Ben Franklin saw this in Great Britain. He said, quote, I affirm that there is no country in the world in which the poor are more idle, dissolute, drunken, and insolent. The day you passed that act, you took away from before their eyes the greatest of all inducements to industry, frugality, sobriety, by giving them a dependence on somewhat else than a careful accumulation during youth and health for support in age and sickness. Benjamin Franklin said the best thing you can do for the poor is make them uncomfortable in their poverty. But remember, this is the guy who used to build hospitals for the poor. There is a difference between those who cannot work and those who will not work. That's our only difference. That's our difference, America. It's that. But nobody will say that. Nobody will have a reasonable conversation. Newspapers and TV will keep pushing the same failed ideology of redistribution of wealth. And I have news for you. People are tired of it. I want to show you something that we found quite interesting. This is the ad revenue for TV and newspapers. Actually, this is just newspaper. This one is just newspaper. Okay? Look at this. This is an adjusted for inflation. Here's how much profit they made. Here's the end of the Cold War. Here's September 11th. And right about here is the election of Barack Obama. Look at the advertising numbers. Nobody's boycotting them. It's way down. In fact, it's lower than 1950. It's over. Why did this happen? Because people aren't stupid. It's obvious that the New York Times, it's obvious that the LA Times and just about every other paper in America is not about the truth, it's about an agenda. Now I'm telling you these things because you're going to be called a racist, a teabagger, everything else. You already have been. You're going to be told that Romney doesn't have a chance to win, that you guys don't have a chance to win on any of your candidates. You're in the dustbin of history, but I want you to know, don't you dare feel alone, because you're not. Bobby Shrum, may I call you Bobby? Bobby wrote today in the papers that nobody's reading, there's a civil war gathering in the Republican Party. Really, Bobby? Earth to Bobby Shrum. Earth to Bobby Shrum. It's been going on now for a few years. In fact, if I may, look at the Tea Party wins. You want the revolution? You want a civil war? Here it is. Three-term Senator Bob Bennett lost to two other Republicans at the GOP nominating convention in Salt Lake City. Mike Lee eventually won the seat, lost by Bennett. Richard Murdoch wins Indiana GOP primary easily against the establishment candidate Dick Lugar. Rand Paul beats GOP establishment candidate Trey Grayson. Marco Rubio beats the GOP candidate Charlie Crist. Pat Toomey beats Arlen Specter. Joe Miller beats the establishment candidate in Alaska. Sharon Angle wins the primary of her GOP establishment. Christine O'Donnell wins primary. 9-term establishment candidate Mike Castle. In New York, Palladino beats GOP establishment. Governor Walker survives a battle against the full force of the labor unions. In Wisconsin, Debbie Fisher wins a primary in Nebraska over the establishment. And Ted Cruz won easily. Everyone in Texas said it can't be done. Here's the great news. They said none of these would happen. All of these looked like it was going to go the other way. All of them. There's a civil war. Yes, good. There is a civil war going on in the GOP. It's been going on for a while, and it should be happening in the DNC as well. That was just a hostile takeover by the Marxists. We're doing it out in the open. We brought really big brooms to brush out the garbage, and we ain't done sweeping yet. And believe me, in 48 days, Mitt Romney will win and prove the media wrong yet again. And one of these days, it will be the last time anyone has to prove them wrong, because they'll just have to close their doors and go out of business. But let me just say to the media that is hemorrhaging money and going to be looking for bailouts soon, if you would just consider the slogan, "The truth lives here," and you just actually do that. Say, no, there's no agenda, just the truth. You don't program to either party. May I just tell you, business gets really, really good.